Breakers, strap in, because this is gonna be a doozy. This is a topic that's been confused over, confuzzled on, generally misunderstood for a good bit now. And I have spent the last few days just losing my mind trying to figure it out. But this is, what is each category of EX and option skill? So, you may have noticed on your various weapons, you'll have various traits that affect specific EXs or options. Long range option level 3 attack power, long range EX support option, beam blast EX, there's barrages, guided missiles, cancels, all that. Melee has its own unique spread of them as well. Cancel count, left saber doesn't count, close range, special type, bunch of goofy stuff like that. I am going to do my best to explain what each one is with practical examples if we need them. So, starting off at base, guided missile. Guided missiles available on both EX and option side. And on the EX side, it's pretty simple. This is guided missile. It is something that is, as it sounds, a guided missile, like Z, Shikasai, Go Ranch Dorito, Leg, funnel missiles. That is a skill that counts as guided missile and will get the boost off a guided missile. Anything with that icon that is a guided explosive that flies out towards an enemy will get a boost from that trait. Also, for God knows why, this does. Master Gundam Guni Oppai Daineshai is also a guided missile trait. Unlike what you might think by being a mobile fighter skill, go in here real quick, it does scale on shot, it does count as a long-range EX for other traits, and it will get the benefit of guided missile. It's actually pretty dang good, because those track really well, do good damage and stun. On the option side, guided missile consists of these four. Wire guided missiles, which is currently selected on the background, it's funny. Guided missiles in general, shield style missiles, and for some godforsaken reason, Tri-Blade, which is the worst thing to try to test with its variable damage. Tri-Blade scales off of shot, it counts as a long range EX, it counts as a guided missile. I don't make the rules, I hate them just like you do. Next we have, on the EX side of it, Hypertrance. Hypertrance is fairly self-explanatory. It is the super buffs and super modes that you can activate. You're looking at this, as well as this. This is everything from Transam to Alice System, to Exam, to Hades, to, on this other icon side, Hyperjammer off Death Scythe, or Mirage Colloid off of Blitz. These are installs. I have a whole video out there on how they work and what they do and how they don't stack with each other because they hate you. And you can kind of break down what that is in that vid. Pretty self-explanatory. The next dumb one on both sides is Injection EX skills. Injection EX. This one was hard and hurt my brain until I had to go back to this exact list and stare at it for a good couple minutes to try to figure out the logic behind it, and then it finally hit me. You are looking at this and this. These are these glowing beam rifle and glowing bazooka squares, and these are skills that you can feed additional bar into for additional damage and shots. Also, for some reason, Atomic Bazooka, Mega Launcher, and Double Satellite Cannon are examples of them that get the benefit because they have the icon, even though they are beam blasts that you would be able to feed normally. Other Beam Blasts, other Drobies with a Drobi icon, which we'll get to in a minute, but it's this guy, they don't work. They don't count as injection. But stuff like VSBR, which I'll demonstrate briefly, that let you either fire off your single shot or inject additional gauge into them, like you would a Drobi, count as injection. And again, for some reason, Atomic Bazooka, even though it's a static cost, it has the icon, so it still gets the benefit. Hey, who's complaining, right? Everyone loves nukes. Next on our trip is Auto-Fire EXs. That is this handy little icon right here. The one with the little recycle symbol over the beam rifle. These are skills like Psycho Gundam Backpack, or Hazel Legs, or G-Self Atmosphere Back, that will fire for you as you take other actions. That does not include funnels. They are not auto-fire, they are funnels. The auto-fire is kind of an underrated skill that not a lot of people use, mostly because of low duration. But it's still neat all the same. Next up, and hopefully I'm putting these names on screen at the same time, is Beam Blast. Beam Blast is exactly what it sounds like. It is your Bigoro Jirambo skills. Let's go for our good buddy that guy, Dovenwolf. They are your big Drobi, fat beam, whoosh, whoop to whoop skills that you can often fire off for their base cost, or feed additional bars into for additional duration and damage. They also count as long-range EXs for the sake of the long-range EX qualifier, and they scale off a shot. Next up is something I also have a whole video on, and that is funnels. Funnels are fun. What counts as a funnel? You count as a funnel, you count as a funnel, and you count as a funnel. Why Unicorn stuff gets its own icons, I don't know, but they still fall under the traits nonetheless. Makes sense. You know, funnels. Every single funnel scales on range and counts as a long-range EX, even if they make no sense to do so, like Mini-Moir being a flying knife. And anything that improves funnel duration or damage will affect those. The next one might need a little explanation. It does not have an icon. And that is what you will see on a bunch of traits here. I thought I had one ready. I am very unprofessional. I appreciate you saying cancel. Cancel EX, cancel option, both are the same thing. This one needs a more of a hand-on kinetic example, but they are essentially moves you cancel into. So I'm just going to throw on both the Dober gun and a beam saber real quick. And by that I mean while you're doing any other option, if you were to activate these, they will get additional damage. So let's say by itself, regular beam saber combo, raw, doing nothing. 4740. Now if I were to be, wow, shoot, watch it around, woo, still 4740. And each one of those hits is doing 948. But if I'm doing any other kind of attack option, and then cancel into it, I'm now doing 957 per hit, as opposed to the base 948. So anything that you are canceling into from other actions will get that bonus. 1053 compared to 1042 raw. It's dumb, but it makes sense. I love that I don't script these. I bet you guys do too. Next on my little list is inherent. Boy, do I hate this word, inherent. Our inherent EX skills is this guy. It is, and this guy. It is the best way to think of it. Any kind of martial art or physical combat that does not involve other equipment. So what does count? Pretty much everything Build Burning has, as well as Bakunatsu, Blazing Kick off of Blazing, as well as any of the finger skills, whether that be Shining Finger, Darkness Finger, Burning Finger, whatever. It does not affect any other kind of physical dudes, or even beam dudes, that are, let's call it tool assisted. Melee pick. Anything Age 1 does. Age 1 Titus. From the beam lariat to the beam knee to even the super attack, it all doesn't count under that. The best way to think of that is things that are martial in nature and come from within with your burning willpower that I no longer have after doing this testing. Also that one, the Chonker Honker Shionker, the one where God Master turned to a ball and launched me Domo, and then you go through and go open and explode. That one counts too. Wild Dance. Wild Dance is super fun. Everyone loves it. I'm pretty sure it's like this, and also this, and sometimes this, and also probably this. And on the option side, it's similarly pretty much anything that involves a flurry of combo attacks. Goofy crap, it is considered Wild Dance. Wild Dance is translated poorly and incorrectly. It's any kind of like multi-hit melee combo. I hate it, personally. I have a whole video on it you can go check out in the playlist. Now, over on the range side, we have a few more to get through. We've already talked about injection. We now have to deal with barrage. Barrage options were something that took me a very long time to figure out, because for the life of me, I could not parse what barrage meant. If it wasn't Vulcans, if it wasn't missiles, if it wasn't cannon shells. What the hell is barrage? Well, barrage are these dudes. Barrage is a skill that you can not even feed additional resource into, just hold down to get more shots out of. So normally, like with Shining Shot, just give us, as many shots as you want. You can do one, or you can hold it down to get up to, I think, 7 or 8. That's it. That's Barrage. It's not anywhere near as good as people thought it was. It makes me very angry to think about. Kind of a niche qualifier. But I'm sure down the road it might be useful to somebody. Vulcan is next on my list. And this one's kind of goofy. Your Vulcans might not be what you think it is. Yes, it's head Vulcans. But it's also this, and this, and this. Essentially anything that's a stream of bullets. Whether it's Gatling guns, whether it's head Vulcans, whether it's chest machine cannons. Whether it's Musha Mark II back with its cute little Zaku machine gun. All of this is Vulcan. 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 All Vulcan. That actually makes the trait a hell of a lot better than I gave it credit for. Because there is a lot going on there. There's a lot of useful skills that fall under this, including my beloved Serpent Double Gatlings. Now for support skills. These make an equal little amount of sense. I looked far and wide to figure out what the hell qualified as support, and I honestly only had a handful of things that actually benefit from support attack up. And the only things that did, God, it's so stupid, are flashbangs. Not to be confused with flashlights, such as those found on, right here, Dom Torso or Darkhound Torso. This has to be a thrown or shot flashbang. Something like the skill I did not just equip, Kamara's Head, or the option part, or sorry, builder's part flashbang that you can attach the Jesta version that you put on your hip, or Gushin Head. These guys will get a damage boost off of that support option. Maybe they'll add more support in the future. I don't know. But for now, you're looking just at flashbangs at the lake. That's all I've managed to find. Trap is a fun one. Trap is... if I can find that little doggy. These fellas. You are looking at 3 or 4 skills I know of. Dummy Shell, Landmine off of the Zaku Mine Lair backpack, and the Floating Mines off of Perfect Gundam Shield. These will get the attack point bonus from Trap option up traits, and while they're not great, they are super funny. You're only going to be able to span them this fast, but these guys will deploy when you hit them, stay in spot for a bit. They will explode after a certain time passes, or if an enemy gets too close to them. They will not explode if something shoots near them. It does require contact. Next up, we got Throw, which is a bit of a weird one. So Throw is, as you might expect, anything with a, throw icon. So we are looking at, where is my spinny spin? Am I blind as a bat right now? Yes, I am. Grenades and this little saber spin icon, but not all of them. So almost every grenade type will qualify for this. It works. When you have that icon, you'll get the boost. The Throw, though, applies to things like Zeta Beam Saber Throw on the legs, the one that causes stun. Flash Edge Boomerangs off of Justice and Destiny Arms. But not Slash Disc off of Kamara's Arm. Despite it having the same icon, it does not count as a throw because you're shooting them out. Additionally, something like Halberd off of Gushin Rebake Shield, which is an axe combo that you can hold to throw the axe, that hold does not count as a throw. That's in fact a wild dance. Why? Because I hate you. Next on my docket is buff skills. These don't have any attack boosts, of course. These are all for duration. But it's fairly obvious what they are. You're looking at stuff like Beam Flag or GN Fields, anything that will buff any of your stats, even if that is hate up or defenses. Maybe eventually they'll start adding some buff EXs. It's certainly on there, but I don't really know of a lot besides the barriers. It's essentially what you're looking at the moment. They don't have any real attack boosts that we can utilize, but there are mysterious, suspicious icons for them. Like, what are you going to tell me that this dude and this dude and this dude are, if not buffs? Highly suspicious. And the last two I got going on, pretty self-explanatory actually. It is pull-in options. And pull-in options are almost entirely going to be this rocket anchor. And as it sounds, you are pulling in the opponent. It is your rocket anchors, your master cloths, your Rex tails, whatever you use to grapple towards opponents or grapple terrain or big enemies to move towards them rapidly. And speaking of movement, the last skill type we have is movement skills, which is these fellas right there. As far as I see, there's no damage movement. It is just duration. Which I guess, in the sake of damaging movements, will increase the duration, but also increase the duration distance traveled. And unless I have missed any, which I don't believe on my list.
Hey there, Future MC here. I'm a big, smelly, dumb idiot, and I forgot special. But that's okay, because special's pretty dumb too. It is this icon. It's fire. It is Dragon Fang, it is Dragon Fang, and it is Dragon Head. It is the flamethrowers. They're all really bad, and there's no point in using them. Oh my god, this is so dumb. Maybe they'll add more specials in the future, but that's special. Carry on.
That's more or less what they all do. I will try to go back and edit the icons onto those so we know where we're at. I'll put up timestamps, and I'm hoping me going insane in the last week has helped somebody figure out exactly what these terms mean. Till next time, be excellent.
Join the Discord. Fired localizers.